We're on chapter 10, the end of the semester. This chapter is about family. There's quite a bit of material in this chapter about the traditional American family. I don't need to talk to you about this. You know it. If you have a television, you know what the typical middle-class American family is supposed to look like. Let us talk instead about how families truly are in America today. A family, by sociological definition, includes people who live together and who often share genetics together. That is, they have biological children. Okay, good enough, but it's insufficient. Families are created intentionally and sometimes accidentally. Families are a unit of people who live together and who call each other family. And that definition is actually good enough for me, although I'm not sure you should use it in other sociology classes. Check with your instructor first, okay? But I like to use a very loose and generous definition of family. Inside families, we look at gender roles, of course. When two people of the same gender are married, we look at the way roles work out between that couple. When two heterosexual people marry or partner up, we look at gender differences very naturally and easily. And of course, it comes as no surprise to you that women take on the bulk of domestic work in the vast, vast majority of cases. Women are the ones who can bear children biologically. They're the only gender that can nurse children biologically. So we can take a very structuralist point of view and say that biology is destiny, but that only works in heterosexual families. In gay families, it's quite different. And your chapter will explain that in fairly compassionate terms. We also have families that are created because of groups of like-minded people who come to live together and who in many ways are families in the most sincere and truest sense of the word. In my family, there is a child who lives in a cooperative living environment. Things are shared among 6 adults, and by things I mean lots and lots of things. Visiting this child is very interesting. People come and go all the time. To sit down, to have a shoulder to cry on, to drum up an extra cup of sugar, to ask for shared childcare, to borrow a car, to ask somebody to go to a movie, to I don't know what else. That's family too. I have an intentional family at my college. I've been there for 1,000 years, and some of the people with lots of tenure are my dear and close friends. I have an intentional family at my church that provides me with a great deal of emotional comfort and intellectual stimulation. I have a little tiny bit of a biological family, and that means almost nothing to me in terms of my daily life or my dreams and expectations. So please think of family in a very generous way, understanding that the way families look varies, and we know this from sociological research, from race and ethnic and religious groups. Is that the right grammar? It's close enough. Please understand that the way poor families operate is different than the way wealthy families operate. Please understand that religion has a lot to do with the structure of families in America. Or, to put it another way, in many cases the lack of religion has to do with family structure and how it evolves in a given family. Please take a close look at what divorce means for families. it's real important to understand the great stresses that end up being shouldered by single moms in the United States. Please understand how marriage and divorce laws vary from state to state. Please read this chapter and apply all the sociological tricks you've picked up this semester as you do your evaluations. Bye-bye.